This guy says, my friend said short esters are better than long esters. True or bro science? So let's first talk about, what does that mean? Short esters, long esters. A short ester would simply mean a steroid that's a short half-life, like propionate, for example, has a short half-life. Phenylpropionate has a shorter half-life. Then you have ananthate, cypionate, those are longer half-lives. Undeclinate, decanate, those are longer esters. So basically, the difference would be with the shorter esters, if you're using an injectable, you would have to inject it more frequently. So like propionate, you want to inject every day, every other day. And then cypionate and ananthate, the longer esters, decanate, those you can inject twice a week or once every 10 days, depending on which one it is. So, is it better to inject more often, something with a short half-life that is, kind of builds up in your system and peaks at a quicker and is out of your system quicker? Does it really make a difference? So let's dive into this first. Let me kind of give me my opinion on this. It really depends on your situation. Like, I will give you an example. If you want to run like an 8-week cycle, it really is advantageous to run a short ester, because what happens is you're going to run it. It's going to, even though it's going to be working right away, it's going to peak a lot quicker. So you'll get peak levels of concentration in your blood within 2-3 weeks. If you're running a long ester, it's going to take 5 or 6 weeks. So if you're only running 8 weeks, it makes more sense to run a short ester because it's in your body quicker, peaking, and then once you stop, it's out of your body quicker, so you can start recovering quicker. A long ester, you want to run it maybe 10, 12 weeks. Some guys even go 14 or 16 weeks. And then when you come off of it, it still lingers in your system because it takes a longer time to get out. So, I mean, you're talking weeks after your last injection, it's still in your system. So in that case, it's going to take you longer to recover because you're running a much longer cycle. We'll get into the recovery aspect a little bit later. So that's my opinion on that. Depending on how long you're running it. Rick, what kind of direction you want to take on this question to help this guy out?
When it comes to the ester, the shorter esters are nice. They have some good parts to them. They have some drawbacks. The good parts that I like about the short ester is that you get more steroid for your milligrams, right? We've discussed this in the podcast before. Propionate, acetate, 100 milligrams of acetate, 100 milligrams of propionate is going to have more active anabolic hormone than if you had the same 100 mgs of anatinate, because the shorter ester weighs less and it comprises a smaller percentage of that total weight. So you get more active steroid. That's good. Also, the shorter ester just starts to work quicker. Anybody that's used Trenbolone anatinate with the longer ester or Trenbolone acetate knows the difference. Same thing with testosterone propionate. Same situation. You notice the stuff working a lot quicker. So those are the two good things. It works a lot quicker. It's almost like you don't even need a kickstart. It works so fast. And also, you get more active hormone per weight. Now, the drawbacks to the shorter esters are just the injection volume. You have to inject them quite often, and those injections tend to hurt quite a bit. So the shorter esters, you have to inject way more often, sometimes every other day if you really want to, sometimes every day if you really want to get a steady levels. And that can lead you to get burnout from your injections. Once you're on a long cycle and you're pinning every day, every other day, it begins to be a bit much. And you'll know when you're getting burnout from the injections because you have this reaction, like this sensation just touching the needle to your skin. And it's funny because the first time I did propionate, I actually looked forward to the shots. I enjoyed the shots. But then after about 4 weeks on this prop cycle, I was just like, damn, another shot. Damn, another shot. I got burnt out on them. And also, you're going to find that the shorter esters are going to give you more injection pain than the longer esters. Those shorter esters, they don't want to suspend in that oil, in that carrier, as much as the longer esters do. So they're going to burn out. They're going to burn you a little bit more. Even at the depot, as they get absorbed, they're more of a crystalline type of structure than what you get with a very kind of fatty type structure when you have those long esters in there. So it definitely hurts more the injection depot. So that's what I would say the two drawbacks to it are just the injection frequency, which will burn you out. You might have fun at first pinning, but it'll burn you out. And the pain, the pain is unlike the longer esters for sure.
At the end of the day, guys, I personally hate the shorter esters. I'm all for the longer esters. I don't care about, you know, the disadvantages. For me, I hate injecting. I hate the pain of injecting. I'm sick and tired of it. So I always go with the longer esters. All things being equal, guys, over the long term, it will not matter if you shoot short or long esters. It's just a personal preference thing. And if your friend said, wow, short esters gave me much better results than long esters, I would say he was probably just using better quality gear when he used a short ester. I've seen that. I've experienced that personally. So even the same compound, two different brands, manufactured in two different countries, whatnot. I mean, it's going to give you, you'll like one more than the other. That's just how it is. So I don't think it really is going to make a difference long term in your, in your fitness endeavors. I'll put it that way.